A Calgary police officer pinned in his marked truck had to be cut out by fire crews after being involved in a 5-vehicle pileup. It happened on Crowchild Trail at 24th Avenue Northwest this afternoon. The police truck with its lights on was heading to another call when it hit a vehicle and rolled onto its side. 4 people were hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries, including the officer. The traffic unit is investigating, and that portion of Crowchild has reopened. Here's what else is making news. He was jailed for voyeurism once and now charged again.
Even more upsetting as a parent that somebody could be doing this when you're just enjoying time with your kids.
Accusations young women and children were filmed at a mall.
My son was not given the opportunity to show his hands or get out of the vehicle.
Reaction from the mother of one of 2 men shot and killed by a Calgary officer, now charged. And they were sure to duck and run in support of a great cause.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla DiGiuseppe.
Good evening. A Calgary man who served time for secretly filming women and posting sexually explicit videos of them online is facing new charges. Police say he was caught again, this time at Southcentre Mall, allegedly recording young girls and women without their consent. Mark Villani has more on the charges, which include possession of child pornography. And a warning, some of the details in the story may be disturbing.
This is Jeffrey Robert Williamson, arrested in 2017 for running a social media account that posted hundreds of sexually explicit videos of women, many filmed without their knowledge or consent. He pleaded guilty to voyeurism and possession of child pornography, serving a 2-year prison sentence. Now, years later, police say he's done it again. On June 24th, officers were called to Southcentre Mall after a woman reported being secretly recorded on Williamson's cell phone. Investigators say mall surveillance footage showed him taking videos under the woman's skirt.
I mean, it's sad and shocking and appalling.
Kara Stone says her children used to play at Williamson's house before his original charges, making these repeat allegations that much more personal and disturbing.
These poor people that are, being victimized by this gentleman who clearly can't get it together. So that's really unfortunate.
Following a search warrant, police say they also seized devices containing child pornography. 51-year-old Williamson is now charged with obtaining that material and faces another count of voyeurism.
Voyeurism is always, or more often than not, linked to some more serious offenses. Could be a criminal harassment charge. It could be an assaultive charge.
Police say these crimes are serious and a direct violation of people's physical safety and privacy that can lead to lasting psychological effects. We continue to work with security partners at Southcentre Mall to ensure the safety of patrons. It's incredibly important for people to report these incidents, whether they themselves are victims or if people witness others being victimized. But as Williamson now waits for his day in court, some say it's time the justice system takes a tougher stand.
This is who he is, and we need to take note. And judges, lawyers, all of that, they need to take note.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
Williamson is expected back in court on Thursday. Well, the mother of a man shot and killed by police 2 years ago is thankful a Calgary police officer has been charged, but remains skeptical about the judicial process moving forward. Levon Fox and Wesley Davidson were killed following a slow-speed pursuit along Memorial Drive. Tyson Fedor reports.
3 shots ring out in this cell phone video on May 29th, 2023. Fired at a stolen white cube van being driven erratically, although slowly, along Memorial Drive. 3 men inside the truck had previously been reported to police for acting suspicious on private property. The driver, Wesley Davidson, and 1 passenger, Levon Fox, were shot to death by police.
There's no reason for my son to be killed. My son was not given the opportunity to show his hands or get out of the vehicle.
Lena Wildman says her son did not stand a chance when police opened fire on the vehicle. Her other son, Dennis, was also in the truck but survived and taken into custody.
I don't think that officer did a proper threat assessment.
51-year-old Constable Craig Stothard, a 15-year member of the service, now faces 2 counts of second-degree murder following an investigation by Alberta's police watchdog, ACERT. The Crown Prosecutor's Office found there was enough evidence to prosecute.
Nobody can remember an on-duty officer in Alberta ever being charged with a criminal offense of murder. Not only was that officer shooting at the driver, he was shooting at the passengers too, which is even more egregious.
Lawyer Tom Engel says there have been many cases before where ACERT recommends charges, but prosecutors do not pursue.
I'm hoping that this is not a one-off, and this is evidence of a new approach being taken by the Minister of Justice and the Alberta Crown Prosecution Service.
Despite the charges, Fox's family remains cautious about the legal proceedings.
My fear is that he will be given special treatment because the police officer.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
Stothard is out on bail and due in court tomorrow. Police are releasing new details into yesterday morning's crash on Deerfoot Trail. They say a van west of Memorial Drive left the roadway, struck a barrier, then rolled into the grass median and onto Deerfoot Trail. The 34-year-old male driver was ejected from the van and hit by a truck. He remains in serious condition. The van, meantime, crashed into a car and caused the car to roll over, leaving 2 men in their 80s with serious injuries. Another truck was also involved, but no one else was hurt. Police have not ruled out speed or impairment and are appealing to the public for information or dash cam footage. And a child was taken to hospital as a precaution after colliding with a vehicle at an alley along Saddlemont Way Northeast this evening. Police say the child was riding a bike or a scooter at the time. The driver stayed on scene. An alert from Calgary Police about a big Hells Angels gathering this weekend. Bikes are expected to roll into Calgary Friday. There will be an increased police presence too, where officers will be keeping an eye on the Hells Angels and affiliated gangs. CPS says outlaw motorcycle gangs host events across Canada annually, and there haven't been any issues. City Council has unanimously approved rezoning the former CBC building site where creosote had been found. The toxic substance is harmful to people and the environment if disturbed. An environmental assessment accepted by the province says construction would be safe, but Hillhurst residents don't buy it. Stephanie Thomas has more.
Calgary City Council voted all in favor to rezone a portion of land in Hillhurst, paving the way to build up a 6-story complex. But it's what's beneath the surface of the vacant lot on Westmount Boulevard that's caused considerable community concern. Creosote has seeped deep beneath the bedrock.
I was a little bit flabbergasted, yeah.
Creosote is a toxic chemical once used to preserve wood on the south side of the Bow River. Canada Creosote Company used the waste chemical for decades until the 1960s. Domtar later owned the site. It has never been fully cleaned out of the soil and has since seeped under the river. High remediation costs helped kill the Calgary Next proposal a decade ago.
So it has, according to what the city has found out, migrated to the other side of the river.
Some Hillhurst area residents opposed the land use amendment change during public hearings and expressed disappointment on Wednesday.
When you look at the process, it's pretty clear that the public were cut out of the interaction.
He says it's eroded his trust in both the province and City Hall, which share different responsibilities to address creosote at the site.
You know, the engagement is tough, but we got to do it, but we got to do it right. And if you do it right, you know, the confidence and trust of this corporation and the citizenship of our governance will be there.
The developer, Anthem Properties, is on the hook for any issues that it may find.
Monitoring, reporting protocols, and will endure with the land. So that does provide confidence for the community and some security around management of the site.
Next is the development permit process, which will be more detailed about community impact. There's opportunity for public input, but Sterling is not confident it will affect the proposal. Stephanie Thomas, CTV News, Calgary.
After delaying the start of the Stephen Avenue revitalization project, construction will get started next week. On Monday, crews will focus on the east half of the 100 block of 1st Street Southeast and expand to the west side on September 2nd. The city says it's to minimize disruptions during summer's patio season. Construction was delayed after businesses voiced their frustration over the initial phase schedule covering several city blocks. This first phase, which includes upgrading critical underground infrastructure, will be mostly done by June 2026. Gina is in with our first look at the weather. We have that rain that's back in town.
Yeah, it's really not taking a break for Calgary that much. Even this hour, you might even be witnessing a little bit of that active weather moving into the city. That's what our models are suggesting, that we're going to see the thunderstorm potential really starting to pick up momentum anywhere from now into midnight and 12:30. And then we're going to get a second wave of rain, more sustained rain as we head into tomorrow. So that's going to cool off our temperatures too. Tonight down to 11 degrees, and then those northeasterly winds will keep us cool tomorrow in addition to the rain. So we're only expecting a high of 15 for tomorrow, Camilla, and unfortunately that's not where the rain ends. We'll have the full details in your 5-day forecast.
All right, Gina, thank you so much. 2 campgrounds have reopened in Yoho National Park that were closed because of bears in the area. Last week, a black bear damaged an unoccupied tent at Takawa Falls Campground. A similar incident happened to a tent at Yoho Lake Backcountry Campground. Both sites were closed as a precaution. Parks Canada suspects the bears have now moved further to the backcountry where there's abundant natural food sources.
We say you can walk, run, or waddle, so everybody's welcome. We have actually all ages as well. We have from 1 year old to, I think, 65 this year.
It was a quacking good time at the 3rd annual Duck Run for Ducks Unlimited Canada down at Edworthy Park tonight. About 200 participants took part to raise money and awareness for wetland conservation. The national campaign has already raised over $100,000. Coming up, looking at exercise and cancer. The Calgary-led study focuses on the benefits working out on patients.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
A new public measles exposure alert from AHS tonight. Someone with confirmed measles in Airdrie visited the Veterans Way Real Canadian Superstore while infectious on July 7th. The exposure period was between 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Anyone who was there at the time and with less than 2 doses of the measles vaccine should monitor for symptoms. AHS says more locations will be released if necessary. Meantime, Alberta's total measles case count sits at 1,340 as of noon today, with 17 new cases in the last day, 4 in the north and 13 in the south zone. 5 people are in hospital, 1 patient in ICU. An Alberta team is studying how exercise after and even during cancer treatments can provide survival benefits. They'll be releasing those results soon, but participants are already spreading the word about the program they think should be added to the province's cancer care. Here's Alicia Fieldberg.
The right trainer can make a big difference for your health, especially if you're dealing with cancer.
Oh, a tremendous difference. I was always active, but I never knew what the right thing was to do for my limitations.
Research is revealing promising data about exercise programs in oncology treatment, including an 18-year-long study on colon cancer patients from all over the world, recently published in the New England Journal of Medicine.
Hard data showing the survival benefits of exercise. And those benefits, they're comparable to what you would see with some of the drug treatments.
Validating, but not surprising for the Alberta team who started this program for people with all kinds of cancer.
It's not just early stage cancers, right? We're seeing metastatic disease. We're seeing really higher risk cancers like neuro-oncology, brain tumors.
Participants range from recent post-cancer to those waiting for or in the middle of treatment. A specially trained team helps tailor exercises for individual needs and abilities.
We've had people contact and they'll say, I have a walker. Can I do your program? And I think at first it was like, I I don't know. let's try it out and see. And then we can see like, hey, we're able to get these people into the class.
The social side of class is just as important.
Just being able to talk to people that are in the same situation as I am just helps me greatly.
The program isn't currently funded by the province, but this group hopes that changes.
Because people need it. It will help them build confidence, build strength, empower them.
All vital for people who have faced a lack of control due to disease.
Just keep going. You got to do these programs. You got to live each day and make the most of each day.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
2,500 people took part in the 7-year study. A U of C health sciences student has used her own experience as a patient to design a comforting invention. 20-year-old Madison Torrey has spent a lot of time in hospitals, starting at age 5, when she was diagnosed with a heart condition. At 13, she had heart surgery. She says medical-induced PTSD then led to her getting lupus. She experienced lots of cold IV fluid going through her veins, and she often shivered while wearing gowns or tank tops slung off the shoulder. So she developed the Hug hoodie with an opening for IVs while keeping patients cozy and warm.
My goal was to make a hoodie that didn't feel like the hospital, something I could wear from treatment to the classroom. Often those with long-term health conditions have to go in between being a patient and being a regular person on the day-to-day. I want something that someone wouldn't second guess or second look at and just saw it as a cool hoodie.
I've always been into design, into fashion, but then to start off so early in a project that can not only help so many people was just something that I was really interested in.
Torrey is working with a Canadian manufacturer and is seeking corporate sponsors to purchase them for donation to patients and hospitals. They cost $150, and she already has 150 pre-orders. Well, Gina's up next with her Skywatch forecast, and again, that rain coming back. Hopefully some sunshine in the next couple of days. Details next.
Well, depending where you're watching, in Calgary or outside of the city, you might already be hearing some thunder and hearing that rain fall on your roof or your windows as we're bracing for a pretty active system to move in tonight and carry on until tomorrow morning. This is from a little earlier this evening, this radar satellite, just to give you an idea of where it started before it heads our way. So it's a low pressure system. It looks a little disconnected because of the mountain range there, but it's swooping over and it's gaining more momentum as it makes its way into Alberta. So I'll walk you through that futurecast in just a moment. Just a quick glance back at our temperatures for today. Managed to get to a high of 20. We were aiming for 21. Just didn't quite get there, but still closer to seasonal than we have been for the last day or so. But back to below seasonal as we look to tomorrow because of this system moving in. Likely only getting up to a high of 15 degrees. It's a lot of up and down, back and forth between conditions over the next couple of days. But here's your futurecast for really right at around now. We see that cell tracking into Calgary there, and it has a pretty intense core to it. There could be that possibility of some small-sized hail that comes in a rapid amount. This starts to sweep through overnight. Again, these systems, those storms especially, move pretty quickly, but it's connected to that bigger low pressure system that really influences us tomorrow morning. More sustained rain as you're probably heading out the door tomorrow in your morning commute there. We could see anywhere between 10 to 20 millimeters with this system, and it slowly moves out and we start to see more of the sunshine work its way back into the sky, hopefully by around 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. A pretty clear Friday ahead of us, but you can see as this futurecast advances, we can already tell more rain in the picture as we get into Saturday. But again, Friday looking good. It'll get us back towards some seasonal values briefly, but the regional forecast really paints that picture of that up and down I was talking about. So instability tomorrow, a bit of a reprieve on Friday for most areas, and then back to more of that unstable active weather for Saturday and even into Sunday as well. Looks like Lethbridge and maybe some areas in the extreme south will dodge some of the instability, especially on Saturday, but it really is going to be a wet weather setup for Calgary over the next 5 days here. So 15 tomorrow, up to 22 on Friday, and then we get more and more of that rain and the chance of thunderstorms throughout the weekend and even into next week.
All right, Gina, thank you so much. They are lined up and ready to be auctioned off. Why the collector of dozens of vintage tractors says it's time to shift gears and part ways. The Calgary Flames are sharing their new season schedule in a unique way. Yes, that's forward Ryan Lomberg doing his best Rambo impression. The Flames will open their season in Edmonton October 8th. They'll play the Oilers 4 times this season. That's one more game than last season. The home opener against the St. Louis Blues is October 11th at the Dome, and defending Cup champs, the Florida Panthers, will visit Calgary on March 20th. There will be a break between February 6th and 24th for the Winter Olympics. Tickets go on sale August 29th. Collections come in all shapes and sizes, some small, others big. This one, massive. An acreage owner just north of the Springbank Airport now owns 91 vintage tractors. Some have been restored, others are well used, and they are all going up for auction. Here's Kevin Fleming.
There's a story behind almost every tractor that Don Ellingson and his wife Beth have purchased over the last 35 years. Don says this is the first time his collection has all been in one place. Now he has a hobby farm like no other.
80 to 85% run, and the other ones, some of them don't run, but some of them will be lawn art. Because if they have steel wheels, they look good on the corner of the fence, and the tires don't go flat.
Ellingson was drawn to the Massey Harris brand before it changed to Massey Ferguson in the 1950s. He ended up with 107 tractors at one point, and now that's down to 91, and all up for auction.
It's time, and my health is starting to fail me, being an old mechanic, and it's time to sell the acreage and move somewhere where somebody else cuts the grass and shovels the snow.
Beth was an art teacher for 32 years and sketched and painted some of the tractors in the collection. She supported Don in his constant search for new machines, but it wasn't always easy talking to her friends about his unusual passion.
And of course, they envisioned toy tractors. No. And for some people, they just shake their head and kind of like, what the heck?
The couple celebrated their 45th wedding anniversary in early July.
But it was our 15th wedding anniversary, being married in July, you know, holidays and such. We went to an auction that was in Manitoba, and I got a tractor as a gift for our anniversary.
Don says most of his tractors are worth $1,500, but some of the restored machines will fetch closer to $10,000 US. He says the hardest one to part with will be the tractor that started the collection, the one he purchased from his brother. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, west of Calgary.
All right, that's it for us here at CTV News at 11:30. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.